Rise up in the morning, grab a coffee, check your fit. Hit the ground running, but try not to forget. There is a place where you can go to share some puppy hugs. Slow it down and listen in. Have some caffeine with your friends with Java and Jugs. The best way to start your week, to make that AM commute. Have that hot cup in your hand and wearing something cute.
And don't forget, girls,
there is a place where you can go and bring your favorite mug. Slow it down and listen in. Have some caffeine with your friends with Java and Jugs. Rise up to the day ahead. Find a place to sit. We saved a special place for you, so try not to forget. There is a place where you can go with sugar, cream, and love. Slow it down and listen in. Have some caffeine with your friends with Java and Jugs. Careful, it's hot. Spend a Monday with your friends with Java and Jugs. We have mocha, vanilla, hazelnut with Java and Jugs. Coming right up.
Good morning, everyone. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the USA. It's been 364 days since the current administration here assumed power. Today, the regime is planning to invade Europe, the army is being deployed against the population, and federal agents are freely murdering citizens. The Black Panthers have returned. On last week's show, we learned about how to protest safely. Today, let's learn from the king himself how to handle state abuses of power and how we can do more than just make noise. How can we be effective? Welcome to Java and Jugs.
Good morning. Welcome.
Did everybody like the new intro? That Bree made that for us.
Thank
love
you.
that. That's so great.
It was very sweet. Now I want to know what kind of coffee we each are. Who's mocha? Who's hazelnut?
I'm maple
Great
nut
value.
green.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No.
Kelly is like, nope, no coffee for me.
Oh no, Kelly.
Oh, goodness.
No, I got the maple nut waffle latte this morning.
Damn.
Oh, aren't you
Sounds
special?
so Canadian,
It's
Will.
so good. It's so good.
Your special treat for the week.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I refuse to go to Starbucks, and Dutch Brothers they have. If you have a Dutch Brothers in your area, go to them because their low rewards thing at like 325 points, you get a free drink of your choice. And like you can get like a large that's like a drink that's usually like $8 for free. It's really nice.
Coffee is so expensive anymore. Like to go out and get a
It's
cup.
great to get coffee for free.
That's why I
Wow,
save
it's
it
Like
for Monday.
even if it's
Making
like
it
buy
home
8
has
and get the
gone up.
9th, whatever. Just, I will take all the free coffees.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Oh, Hawaiian blend.
Thank you all for so much for joining us. Words are so hard. It's Monday, folks. It's the most Monday that's ever fucking Mondayed.
Oh my God, yes. Is it not like the Monday of all Mondays? I agree. It's the Mondayest Monday that's ever Mondayed.
All right.
Morning.
It's not all bad though. For one thing, last night, my Atkinson, our friend from Bad Science Sunday, who sometimes joins us here, celebrated her 3rd anniversary on the YouTubes. Next week, we'll be celebrating 6 months of doing this show.
Oh wow, 6 months already.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
I
fucking
can't believe it's
wild.
been that. Really, it's been that long.
Or maybe I'm miscounting. We started at the end of
And
August. I'm probably
Wednesday, I'll be celebrating
let me see what else is there.
being
And
30.
also there's coffee. And also Jess, the wonderful ruler of asteroids, has designed 3 new breaks for us, which we'll be trying out over the course of the show today. And Chris from the Daily Atheist Morning Show, whose channel you may be watching us on right now, possibly, has designed a new website for his show with
Ooh.
Ryan. And it tickles me. It's pretty interesting.
So is that WordPress that he hates so much?
That's right. Yeah.
Well done for hating it. You did a good job,
it
Chris.
starts out, we've got the banner with him and Ryan and the neon atom symbol, and also the phone number, because he's been trying to do a call-in show. It's new. There's still a couple glitches here and there. Like, for example, you can see the watermark from the Gemini AI generation.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's that little not quite diamond mark in the corner
I don't
there.
use Gemini. Ha.
Yeah, they some of the AIs have a watermark and some don't, and it's weird. But as far as the layout, there's the current movie of the week, which I suppose ideally, I don't know for sure. We're just looking at what's on the screen, but when the movie of the week is already selected, that'll be what's up there. And if it's open for voting, which is a thing that happens, then the link to vote will be up there and things. Merch, parodies. But the thing I really wanted to get to is the host descriptions. Ryan, of course, is a serial blasphemer, a sinner extraordinaire, and a world-renowned heathen.
Oh yes, true.
Yes, very much
And
so.
Chris is
Love
the
it.
amazing Super Chris, third-rate
Getting
hack,
better for
and
me.
housebroken mostly.
Third rate, you say?
You know,
Perfect.
it is a lot of work to get up to third rate from fourth. Like, almost anybody can get up to fourth rate, right? There's like no barrier to
Go
entry. But
clear.
to get third rate, you need to
Is that like a purple belt?
yeah, kinda. It's a struggle. You have to beat someone who is already third rank, right? In order to earn your
watch
spot.
this. I
Yeah.
would watch this.
Pole position. I get it. Okay.
I'm
Well done,
oh,
Chris.
goodness.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So before the stream started, Chris dropped the link for that and asked people to take a look. So I figured I would show it. I should say what it is. It's thedamnshow.com. Because Chris dropped the link, I should do it again so people know what the hell we're talking about.
Well, our fear is that with all the changes that are being made now between all the social media, because of the rhetoric from our government, is that there could be a time where, our channel could go down. Hopefully not. But in the instance that it does, there will always be a place that you can go. No, this is not a song from a 90s or 80s comedy show. But you'll be able to find the damn show, and if we start another channel, if we go somewhere else, you'd be able to find us there. And the community, right? Like, you don't want to lose the community. So there's the Discord, there's the website, all of that.
Join the mailing lists, etc.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Exactly.
Pre-book the name on Rumble, whatever.
Rumble.
Oh,
Chris
I
is a
used to have
SOS.
Rumble as a backup because I was worried about, years ago, my channel just being summarily deleted. So Rumble had a feature, and maybe they still do, I don't know, where it would automatically back up everything you publish on your YouTube would publish on your Rumble like a day later, completely automatically.
Yeah.
And I realized Rumble has a bit of a reputation, but that automatic backup was a really compelling feature. Weirdly, round about January 2nd of 2024, that got turned off. And the reason I say January 2nd is because that's the day I decided to publicly start transitioning and my Rumble got cut off.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I'd never even been on Rumble before. I think I'm just because I've been on TikTok.
Rogan videos, really.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I go to Rumble for.
I don't even know what Rumble is.
Yeah, I don't
I know,
really
I'm
use
not
it
sure that
either.
I
Is
It
that
was
where
just
all the
nice to have a
conservatives go
backup
that get
of
kicked off
videos, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
it's more
there's a
conservative?
lot of like super right wing and like Nazi-ish people on there simply because their stuff won't get banned like it does on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Dr. Kip.
Yes,
Podcast.
we would love to, but unfortunately, some of us are stuck in
I
places
want to
like
move to
Texas.
Canada.
We're going to
with Michigan.
broadcast from
I have space.
Canada.
Just come camp in my backyard. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're moving to her backyard. Yeah, in our little
Cool.
compound.
We're going to build a
I'm not gonna
humanist
tell you you're my
compound
wife.
and keep all the anti-humanist humans out.
We're going to be very selective and exclusive and insular.
Mm.
We're going to be the perfect cult, you guys. I can feel it. We won't have
So,
all those other issues.
I realize I'm taking us further and further onto tangents when we're supposed to be talking about Dr. King, but I used to do movies, right? I filmed a movie. I have like 5 other scripts written and ready for production. I'm just financing it, fuck. But one of the movie scripts I wrote was about a future where humanity splits, right? Like we progress down the track we appear to be on, where the aggressively ignorant, hateful people eventually push all the smart and tolerant people the hell out of their society. And because the smart and tolerant people are smart and tolerant, we build spaceships and we take the fuck off to go find other Earths that are safer to live on, which leaves the ignorant, hateful assholes all alone. And they do World War III and then World War IV and then World War V. But eventually they get jealous. They realize the smart people have probably built a better society. And so they decide that needs to be stopped, that there can't be any humans who aren't hateful and ignorant. And so they build spaceships in order to come find our colonies and conquer us. And they do.
Oh, gosh.
Because they
Well,
can
that's
achieve
fun.
amazing things when they're fueled by hate.
Isn't that so true, though? What people accomplish filled with hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary. In contrast, that with someone like MLK, who's full of love. Well, I don't know, full of love.
It's something as a Canadian about the topic of our show today that I was not aware of.
Please.
Yeah.
You guys get a day off for it. We don't have that here. We don't have like a specific day for something like this.
So there's a public reason that we teach about in public schools, and there's a real reason that we don't teach about in public schools. The public reason is that Dr. King was a great man who preached peace, preached secularism, even though he himself was a minister, and put nonviolence ahead of the human urge to violent retribution when your people are being wronged, and he's a shining example of the correct way to do things. That's somewhat true. He gets a day because he was assassinated. He became sort of like a martyr for peacefulness. Now, as I've mentioned more than once, Malcolm X was also assassinated. He doesn't get a holiday because he modeled the wrong behavior, the kind of behavior we don't want to put up on a pedestal and exemplify. He modeled the willingness to use violence ever. Like that's the line, is ever. King was like, no, let them beat you, let them throw you in jail, let them embarrass themselves. Better that than to do the violence yourself and give them an excuse to hurt others. Whereas Malcolm X was,
as a black person, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get a point across. So both methods would have been effective for me, because if I'm keep on doing this, it's been time. I'm getting tired of you throwing dogs on me. I got to retaliate. I'm not gonna sit there like that.
Yeah,
I think,
but I'm not gonna come out like, okay, maybe be reasonable and talk about some things. But if you constantly want to keep bothering me, and all I want to do is just sit down at the diner and eat, no. I can't.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a generation where that was my mother that was at this that had to do sit-ins and stuff like that, where they would spit on her and stuff. So,
Mm.
They're lucky they didn't get more. They didn't catch more than what they caught. Just saying.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Who'd we lose?
What now?
nobody,
We
I
lost
thought.
No?
we all
Oh,
here?
did it?
No.
Why did the thing change?
Somebody left?
Who that? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Did you did that? I'm sorry.
Somebody did
Oh
something?
yeah,
Oh, okay. I don't know.
we both.
We're just playing with the chat, that's all. Yeah, when it comes to, of course I prefer no violence. I prefer no murder. Like I'd love for all of that like to not be happening in this society. But I don't expect somebody to continuously get pounded in the face and like take it and take it and take it. Couldn't be me. I can only take this so much. I'm a peaceful person, but I think every peaceful person has their limit.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
I'm a little sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, there's a time and a place for everything, but where that time and place is kind of depends on the person and what you're facing. So
Well, so I was thinking, I was like, it seems like how can I put it? Uh Calling a kettle black, because what did you do January 6th when your president didn't get in office? How did you act? So that just seems like, oh, but it's okay for us to just sit down and not do anything if we're wronged.
yeah.
Man, and everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good at pointing the finger and poking and prodding and doing the Darvo thing until you have no choice but to kind of react or put your hands up to protect yourself. And they deliberately put people into those situations. So that is the only thing that they can do is raise up their hands. And then when you raise up your hands, it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
now they're being
I'm
violent.
supposed to do is just be quiet as a black woman, because if I say anything, then I'm the angry black woman.
Yeah, they like to use that.
Yeah.
They
Because I'm
use that
vocal, especially Jasmine Crockett. She's ghetto.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been using that a lot. Like, it seemed like that rhetoric kind of, at least in politics, right? Well, actually, I don't really remember hearing it too much in politics, but now with Jasmine Crockett and is it Stacey? But is she still in politics? Stacey Abrams? Anyway, I feel like I've heard that rhetoric begin to come back now.
Oh yeah.
Like it's acceptable to say that. Oh, and godless. Brent A said, angry godless. That.
That's right.
Even worse. Even worse still.
Yeah. And a godless woman, a black, angry, queer woman, atheist woman. I don't really sit well on society's monitored right now.
Well, we love you though, Kelly. We appreciate you. Trump, we don't really care.
And we're not the only ones. We have been given to understand there's something of a party in your honor later today.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's more for Martin Luther King. But I will have an after party where we're gonna laugh and talk. If y'all want to join, let me know. I'll give y'all links. But it's after party on my channel right after the stream. So if y'all want to come on, we're gonna hang out and
now that stream
games and laugh and talk.
Mandisa's channel, or is it Cam's channel? The Martin Luther King stream.
It's the Black Non-Believers channel. Black Non-Believers channel. That's the one where we're doing the Martin Luther King tribute. Different topics on that.
So I want to make sure we send everybody to the right place. That's what is it, 8 p.m.? I don't know. I never actually got an email about it.
7 to 9. You were invited, but you did not join. But 7 to 9. If you put my link tree in, it has Black Non-Believers website on there. the channel on there. But yeah, it's the Black Non-Believers channel.
Oh, that's where it is tonight?
Yep,
Okay.
7 to 9. You have the email. It shows you what time you come on. And you're on with Lil and Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Seth. Eastern Standard. I forget. In different parts of the country.
And world, probably.
I'm telling you, folks.
I think everybody
here.
I think everybody on the stream is in America. I think. I'm trying to think if anybody's out of the country.
Jess isn't, nor is Skip.
As what?
You're not in America.
Well, I don't.
No, I am not.
No, I'm saying on the stream tonight. I don't think you're gonna be in there. Well, you are America, not U.S. United States, North America. She's in America.
North America, yeah.
Okay.
True.
No, like whenever anybody says a time, I almost automatically assume that it's Eastern, so it's an hour earlier for me.
I don't know who you are, but thanks. I'm invited to barbecues forever. From Larry. I don't know who that is, but thank you. If you can grill, then I'll come.
Larry's car.
How is your barbecuing?
Oh, now we need
That's
to
what
talk
I'm
on
saying.
barbecue episode.
I want to get that stuck off the bone ribs.
Don't make me hungry, please. I haven't eaten yet. Well, I had a piece of toast.
I know, me either.
Hey, Kelly, how you feeling? Hope you're feeling okay.
Yeah. No, you've been going through some stuff.
Eat cardboard.
I gotta show off my mug.
Tasty
my daughter
cardboard.
bought this for me like 2 years ago, and I just took it out.
Oh,
I was
so
like, let me drink out of my mug.
Was it Baby Yoda?
Yeah,
it's Grogu.
Yeah, baby Goku. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's a big mug.
He's been partially decapitated.
Cussed me out because I haven't used it yet.
Drinking his brain.
Brain juice. Have you ever had brain juice? It's not as good as bean juice.
No, I don't know what that is, and I'm afraid to ask.
But I'm out of mine now.
Well, I know bean juice is coffee, and I kind of have.
I'm alluding to one of the new breaks.
Bean juice.
Okay, in fact, we should let people check. We have 3 new breaks to do over today's show, and we'll let y'all decide which one is the best. But we'll start with the one that mentions bean juice, because why not? And that's about 3 minutes. So yeah, we'll hit that, and then when we come back, we will talk a bit about what we can learn from Dr. King.
Yay!
This bio break from Java and Jugs is proudly brought to you by today's completely real, definitely legitimate sponsors. First and foremost, caffeinated bean water. Because without coffee, skepticism becomes maybe later. Critical thinking becomes after a nap. And suddenly you're halfway through a YouTube comment wondering how you got there. Caffeinated bean water. Bitter, reliable, just like your best takes. This segment is also sponsored by Bras That Understand. Bras designed for women who sit forward into microphones, gesture aggressively while being correct, and refuse to apologize for existing in 3 dimensions. Bras That Understand, holding the line, holding everything else, too. Additional support comes from sports bras for when the conversation gets heated, because nothing escalates faster than a debate about religion, politics, or whether women are too emotional to have opinions. This break is further endorsed by adjusting your straps mid-sentence, the graceful art of fixing your situation without breaking eye contact or losing your point. Because if men can scratch and keep talking, we can adjust and continue dismantling theology. And let's not forget our community sponsor, the radical concept that women can have boobs and brains. A shocking idea to some, a daily lived reality to us. Here at Java and Jugs, we believe you can enjoy coffee and evidence, cleavage and constitutional literacy, humor and serious conversations about the systems that shape our lives. We're taking a quick bio break. That means refilling mugs, stretching legs, appeasing gravity, and preparing to come back with fresh caffeine and even fresher skepticism. When we return, we'll be doing what we do best, questioning gods, side-eyeing bad politics, and proving that women don't need divine permission, modesty lectures, or sponsorship approval to speak. Java and Jugs, fueled by coffee, supported by bras, sustained entirely by audacity and critical thinking. Stay right there. We'll be back after this completely secular, absolutely necessary pause.
Love you. That had me crack. So good.
I like to do fun voices when everyone is out of the house and make commercials now. So get ready for more, I guess.
Yay! You have the perfect voice. I love your voiceovers.
Well, it's not just the voice; it's the timing. Like that first part where you'd be like, you could have boobs and brains too.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love the sarcasm. It's perfect. Yeah, I was cracking up.
Thank you.
But Mike and Boob and Mike is my vibe. That's for me.
I know. I should put boobs on my. Oh, I wonder if I can put my little boob on my mic somehow, because boobs on mics sounds like a jam.
Boobs on mics. It should be a song.
That's right. It's almost an EDM track. Boobs on mics, on boobs on mics, on boobs on mics. Woohoo!
Yes,
We're gonna have a
even
dance along.
Amazing voiceover, Jess.
Now remember, Jess has a channel where there's cool things like extinct stuff, and you should subscribe at How to Roll an Asteroid because they're freaking cool things.
Yes, please do. Please subscribe. They have some really cool videos. You'll love them. If you enjoyed that commercial, you're gonna love the videos. Perfect. I love them.
Anything Jess does, you're gonna love.
Oh yeah, because she's done your credits or your
intro videos.
Intro, outro.
Did mine too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She just did a Christmas one. We did.
I love
stay there for next year and recycling stuff.
Oh yeah.
And she did my little birthday little stream thing too for us. I didn't show you guys that.
The Christmas one was absolutely amazing, and I love mine for Crafty Sirens. It is so dramatic.
Oh, that
is
beautiful. That is like my favorite. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. I love that one you did for her. Amazing.
I want to help as many people as I can, and I like being creative, so it's a good outlet for me.
Because I have an idea for you that I need a commercial.
I'm glad that you helped me, and I'm glad I know you.
It's who you know.
Thank you, Ark Encounter Protest, once again.
Yes.
This comment. I feel like MLK is used more often as tone policing, as this mythologized version of the civil rights movement, where he just politely asked for rights and the government said, "Of course."
Right. That's oh my goodness. The version that we get in schools, like there's vague reference to the Freedom Riders, a quick mention of the Birmingham jail because you can't deny the letters from Birmingham jail. But for the most part, it's just he just walked down the street hand in hand with a young Bernie Sanders and said, "Please, sir, can I be allowed to vote?" And we were like, "Oh, what an oversight! Here, let us help you into the voting booth because you asked nicely." No sit-ins, no arrests at the Walworth counter, no beatings, no fire hoses, no.
None of that.
Just there was a lot that just gets brushed away. And the reason is for the political symbolization of no matter what, don't be violent. And we see that same thing, that lesson, that indoctrination reflected today, because every single time there's a protest, people start policing the protesters. Oh, well, there's no excuse for there to be any violence. That's not how anything has ever worked. King was a proponent of nonviolence, but that doesn't mean he said never violent ever. That's not reality. That's not what really happened.
Yeah.
And to hold the present protests to the standard of a fictional past is never going to work.
Exactly. And I believe that he understood that, like, okay, he may not have been a proponent of violence, but he understood that the reason people reacted, that they may have gotten violent, is because they were facing violence every single day. And that's what they ignore. They were facing police brutality. If we think it's bad today, I'm certain it was terrible then. And they were bombing people, burning cities. You know what I mean? So, like, they don't want to admit that. They don't want to talk about the cities that don't exist anymore because they put them underwater, or there's now a park built on it. I'm talking about Black communities. So I just think it's unfortunate that I agree with that they've kind of mythologized him and just piece out everything that he said. Again, I'm not saying that he was a proponent of violence, but he understood. He understood how people were being treated and why they would, could only take so much.
Yeah, and he was under a great deal of violence himself in different sorts of ways, not just being in Birmingham jail, but he was being pursued by the FBI for most of his career as a public speaker.
Yeah,
they were following all kinds of dissidents and undesirables. Jason Jacoby points out the opposite of nonviolence is what has been going on in the Middle East for centuries. This isn't a black and white thing. It isn't either no violence or all violence. As Jason correctly notes, what King wanted was to give people a chance for peace as opposed to open war. But that's not to say total docility and no resistance. That's not what King did. He brought 1 million fucking people to Washington, D.C. to be loud and clog things up. Make them carry us away, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start, I suppose, with the FBI and state surveillance.
Yeah, because the state that was, to me, like a big part of what I wanted to talk about today is the state surveillance. How, they're the ones attacking people like MLK and other activists because they specifically do garner so much attention and are able to motivate the people. And that is what terrifies, the government. Anyway, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. People in the streets. I realize that a big part of the problem we're having right now is because the protests we've been having have been largely ignored by the powers that be, because they think they can just ignore us. The reason that's dangerous is because the protests with people just making noise are a warning. Do something different or things will continue to escalate. You can ignore the warning and say, oh, they're just being noisy. What are they going to do? This is the let them eat cake moment. This is the moment when you can pause to reflect and change your ways before the guillotines come out. So 50 years on, state secrets and surveillance still. and this is from 2019. It's a little ways ago, but at that time, 17,000 pages of FBI files dealing directly with Dr. King remained classified. Why is there classified information
Still?
about a citizen who is hailed as a martyr for peace? What's up with that? What's going on with that? So this article is originally from The Hill, 51 years ago. The greatest civil rights leader in American history. What's that?
That seemed funny because Trump started talking about that when they talked about the Epstein file. That's when he brought that up. I'm gonna pull out the secret files on King. That just seemed, I don't know, weird to me.
Yeah, like why does he have secret files on King? What's going on with that?
It's I looked it up and it says that back in 2025 that hundreds of thousands of documents were released, but there still are some that remain under seal or partially classified. And I'd love to know what that is.
Yeah, he was releasing everything he could think of to distract from Epstein.
That's right.
I mean, we already know that J. Edgar Hoover had an agenda of certain people that he was targeting. You know, King, JFK, John Lennon, these people that were targeted by him. So he had an agenda.
Well, he'd been targeting people for various reasons, trying to shape politics instead of just enforcing law since the middle of World War II. What had Hoover especially on edge was the FBI's failure to prevent the Kennedy assassination. They'd been watching dissenters and undesirables for decades at that point. And here was Lee Harvey Oswald, an active, open communist sympathizer who had already taken a shot at a General Edwin Walker. But they just completely dropped the ball, and he nailed the president right under Hoover's nose. And so Hoover had a lot of egg on his face and was very, very motivated to keep other undesirables under wraps, even though he'd completely missed the fucking point. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So when the select committee, the U.S. Senate has its select committees. That's a whole thing too. The Select Committee on Assassinations issued its final report on the murder of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It noted that the Department of Justice failed to supervise adequately the Domestic Intelligence Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's bureaucrat speak for someone fucked up, but we're not going to point out that person. We're going to point out the people who are supposed to supervise the people who are supposed to supervise them. It's managers among managers. Fuck. In addition, the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the Domestic Intelligence Division's COINTELPRO campaign against Dr. King, that was a thing. The government was actively resisting King. Him in particular, not just the movement, but him specifically. The agency grossly abused and exceeded its legal authority and failed to consider the possibility that actions threatening bodily harm to Dr. King might be encouraged by the program. Now, COINTELPRO, that isn't just monitoring. That's active propaganda against the target. And that's a thing to keep in mind is it's not just gathering intelligence, domestic intelligence, just like foreign intelligence. It isn't just intelligence. It's also espionage. It's also sabotage. It's also undermining. So in light of that conclusion, why did... Oh, we're highlighting a thing. Kenzie Rainwolf says, I love how you're doing a Martin Luther King Jr. show today. They don't do this for schools anymore, so I'm glad someone still cares. Thank you. I really love this show, and I watch every morning. So glad. You must be from the damn audience.
Thank you.
And Yay.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks for joining.
The damned souls.
Right.
Well, I put my foot down. I was like, we have to do something.
For real. Like we try to shine a light on things in this general direction every year, right? Like we've only been doing Jav and Jugs for 5 months. I just counted earlier after. I don't know why. We started in August. And so I was counting August when I was counting. I went August, September, October, November, December, January. If you start in August, you can't count August. September makes 1 month. So we're 5 months. Next month will be 6 months. Anyway.
I've been like 3-4 months then, or 3. Because I know I came
5
a little
months.
bit after.
Oh, did
No,
you
y'all
come
5. I came.
I see what you mean. Yes.
I didn't come immediately after. I came like right after, maybe a couple weeks after y'all started, I think.
Like 2 or 3 weeks.
Forget. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was here just after Kelly.
Yeah.
I
Because you
don't
just
know
kind of
how
came
long
on the
I've been
same
here.
time. But yeah.
It was sorcery or gravity or
But I am
something.
going to
But
still
anyway,
say
we do
that
try
I
to
say
do
gravity.
that year
something.
comes, I'm going to still come in for that year. Instead of being on for a year too.
Last year, I did a special about Dr. King's dream and like where things stand with that. The year before that, we did, I forget if it was on Transpositions or another channel, but we tried to put a focus on what's actually in the letters from Birmingham jail, because they don't teach it in schools anymore. They hand wave at it, but no one examines what's in it, and it's really powerful.
You know what we should have did today? Maybe we should do, just like plan ahead for another show, is we should watch one of the PragerU MLK videos.
Oh my God, they're terrible.
Yeah. Well,
I know. And that's that whole freaking whitewashing and mythologizing the man.
And most people have probably forgotten about this, but keep in mind that Trump defunded PBS so he could stick PragerU in there.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And I have a Black Non-Believer member in our group that actually works for PBS. So I don't know what's going to happen to him, but it's Black History Month next month, so we can probably put that in
Let's do that. Let's
episodes.
That's perfect, Kelly. Let's put a pin in it for that. But I really feel like that's important. I mean, I know we had talked about doing PragerU before. I know
Definitely
you've done
is.
Ember, but it's now more than ever. We really got to start going after these people, because they're sick what they're trying to teach people and twist history.
It's nuts. The good news is we can do a little now and a little later, because they have a 5-minute video titled "Where Are You, Martin Luther King?" and they have an 11-minute video where they have their 2 cartoon character kids do the time travel thing to go visit Martin Luther King, where they rewrite the historical figures. I'm sure that one will be a lot more provocative, because they have a tendency to rewrite the historical figures. So let's put that one for like a full review kind of deal on Black History Month. But we could look at the 5-minute one now if you want to.
I am curious.
It's up to you guys. Get people hooked in it. Hooked on
it works.
Hooked on
it works for me.
Hooked on phonics works for me too.
Let's do this. What could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
Flying by the seat of her fan.
Always screens in the right place. Okie dokie. Standard panel rules. If you got something to say, just speak up and then wait till I pause before you actually say the full thought.
It's been 50 years since Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot to death on a motel balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. And over the decades, he has become one of the most revered figures in American history. There is an impressive memorial to him in Washington, D.C., and a museum celebrating his life in Atlanta, Georgia. Countless schools and boulevards have been named after him, and a national holiday is dedicated to his memory.
Worth noting, at the time of his death and shortly after, he was very disliked in public opinion, partly because of that propaganda campaign against him and his peaceful movement. So what
And I
changed?
Yeah. I just want to interject. At the very beginning, they said he was shot to death. Would they say the same thing about Charlie Kirk? Was he just shot to death or was he assassinated? Because I think MLK
Oh,
was
see, good
assassinated.
catch.
Yeah.
Trying to brush that away, and I
Good
don't like
catch.
I
I'm
didn't even
taking notes.
pick
Like I'm
that
writing
up.
down all this stuff. Shot to death. It's
Yeah,
called
it's
assassinated, you dumb
it is
bitch.
an excellent point. And you know, when we start to take it for granted sometimes with the these propaganda mills like PragerU, but you have to watch them. The word choice is intentional. This isn't a fly-by-night operation. They are funded by billionaires. One of the Koch brothers specifically, plus a few other people. Every word is carefully selected and run through an approval process before it makes it into a video. So when they say shot to death, it's because someone already proposed assassinated and they shot it down for rhetorical reasons.
Yeah.
How is it then that so much of his legacy, what he hoped to pass on to the future, has been lost?
Note on I don't know this person in particular. However, the Manhattan Institute specifically is a far right-wing conservative think tank closely affiliated with the Heritage Foundation and known to the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group support group, which is to say most of their efforts go into supporting hate groups. It's wild that they have a person of color on staff because they're doing their best to exterminate brown people by proxy.
On purpose.
That's what I was looking at. Like,
King wanted equality under the.
What's that?
No, I just said using him as a tool, as a pawn.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There's members of every marginalized community who work with the oppressors. Yeah, the
I'm not going to use that
tokenization,
word.
and they get paid. They get paid. They get some protection. They're going to be the last ones into the gas chamber, and that's good enough for some people.
Yeah.
Under a hyper-capitalist economy where it's either serve or starve, some people will kiss the ring, lick the boot, suck the dick, whatever the case may be.
Yep. Live to see another day.
Some people are eager to do it.
The law, and said famously that people ought to judge one another based on character, not skin color. But he also believed that blacks had an important role to play in their own advancement. The black civil rights battles in America are now over, and King's side won. The best indication of that.
Notice the framing. The battle for equal rights is over. There is equality. It's done. It's over with. There's no more racism. But also the framing, the emphasis on blacks have an obligation to make things right for themselves. Holy shit.
And King's side won.
Propaganda. PragerU, they
won, so
everyone knows
everything's
it's
fine now.
propaganda, so
Why
they
are
don't
you
try to hide it.
complaining?
Yeah, exactly.
May be that King has had no real successor. If Black Americans were still faced with legitimate threats to civil rights, such as legal discrimination or voter
if
God.
Black Americans were still threatened with discrimination, such as legal discrimination or voter disenfranchisement, holy fuck the weasel words. That's a hell of an if. Now, there's a couple of things. Legal discrimination, not discrimination. The fact there are laws that expressly prohibit discrimination on the basis of race does not mean there is no discrimination on the basis of race. Because a fun thing about the United States, certain civil violations like discrimination aren't actually illegal per se. You have to sue the offender. You, the injured party, have to hire a lawyer and file a claim against the person injuring you. And if that happens to be your employer, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's not illegal. It's just fineable. If you yourself, as the injured party, as the minority person who is being oppressed, hires a lawyer and files a suit about it. Amazing. Similar thing with voter disenfranchisement. Technically, that isn't a legal thing that happens. But in actuality, well, we've been seeing all across the South movement towards voter ID laws. And, you know, they blame illegals or whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. But it's actually intended to target Black people. Same thing with school vouchers. They want to claim freedom of religious indoctrination for their children or whatever the fuck the excuse du jour is, but they only started doing them after integration laws because it's actually about Black people.
And a lot of this stuff is built right into the system, like the gerrymandering and like the districts. They specifically, you know, draw the lines in particular so that way people of color or immigrants, what have you, have less say. I mean, you know, we're they're still doing it today.
And the ridiculous thing about it, even like today, especially because Texas outright did this, when they gerrymandered, they straight up said, yes, it's political, which is very obviously means like, yes, we are cutting out the Black districts and chopping them up to the point that they can't elect who they want to. Like, they're coming straight out and saying it now. They're not even couching it in like, oh, well, no, we're trying to be more equal here.
Yeah, they don't even care about plausible deniability anymore. Like they don't have to be nice. It's almost like niceties are out the window. Trump has stripped that veneer and they can just straight up say the nasty stuff. We want these seats because we don't want Black people. We don't want people of color. We don't want immigrants having a say. End of. Blatant. Holy fuck the weasel word.
I have to confess, I picked up weasel words, the phrase from Owen Morgan over on Telltale.
Yeah, we use that a lot for JWs. I use weasel words. Like we all seem to use that. I think I learned that terminology from the XJWs. I never knew what a weasel word was until I listened with, you know, that definition in my head and listened to them speak. And I was like, wow, now I get it. Now I hear it and I can't unhear it. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Enfranchisement. It's likely that leaders of King's caliber would have emerged to carry on the fight.
The fact there are no Martin Luther Kings today is proof there's no racism, because if there were racism, there would just be another Dr. King.
What was the date that the racism stopped, please? I'd like to put that in my calendar.
Right. And are they are they so unaware of all the, oh man, and I feel terrible because I'm like all these cool like Black activists, and I can't even think. There's this one woman, I know her name is Kim, and I just can't remember her last name, but I just remember some of the stuff that she was saying one time, and it just really, really struck me. But there is nobody else. What are you talking about? That just shows how out of damn touch you are. There's lots of Black activists, and a lot of them that are being targeted.
Yeah. And it's, he just said that Martin Luther King was put on a pedestal after his death, right? That's how they opened the video. The fact that there isn't a Martin Luther King now. Martin Luther King wasn't Martin Luther King now. When he was alive, they did everything in their power to hold him down, dismiss him, you know, paint him as an un-American traitor, spreading dissent and doing the work. Even if he's not a commie himself, he's doing the work of the commies by making America weaker, by being dispatriotic and all that shit. Like,
just quickly, Ember, I'm sorry you said that, and it just, I was just trying to like study up and brief myself on the, you know, MLK history and whatever. I was listening to a bunch of interviews, like news interviews and stuff, and it really struck me the same kind of questions they were asking MLK. I feel like they were asking today of Mom Donnie when it came to like socialism and communism and infiltration. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it is parallel. Like obviously they're different people with, you know, different directives and whatnot, but just the language that these news journalists we're using is just reminiscent of the same stuff of how it was put to MLK. And both, let me say, handle it very well. I'd have stumbled, but very well. So that word just kind of reminded me of how they still continue to try to act like it doesn't exist and put all the blame onto MLK or Mom Donnie for speaking up. Like, how dare you? How dare you point out the audacity?
You got now, when it comes to the fighting for the rights, you have, like, it was one, like, people are doing things a little differently. Like, they're approaching, they're coming in, like somebody comes in and says something racist on the stream. A lady drove like 3 hours to confront him. Another situation where a man found out where he worked at and confronted his job, but a man got fired. So no, we're not doing like marching and stuff in that sense, but we're doing little small things because we're going to get you where it's going to hurt you. You want to be racist, you're going to lose your job or something like that. It's going to be more than marching. What's that going to do?
Individual acts of limited scope disenfranchisement, disillusionment, disfellowshipping, I suppose. Little avenues of showing you're not actually part of our society. We do the same thing with every group, right? Like if someone speaks Spanish in public, inevitably some asshole will come up and say, we speak English here. You know, it's not a threat. It's not legal oppression, but it's just a little chip of you're separate from us. You're an other. You're not welcome. You're not wanted, you know? And we do it with every group. We're so fucking insular for the greatest, freest, richest country on earth. It's almost like there's some kind of stress being forced into the population by some entity that wants us divided and scared and hateful for some reason. I can't imagine who that could be, though.
Yeah.
Right. But why is fear? Why is fear their driving motivation? Their number one platform is fear and division. Sorry,
because they know that their actual ideas are not going, that they're not going to go over well.
Yeah.
If presented exactly like if presented truthfully. So they have no choice but to build their movement on fear and hate.
Fear and division. Exactly.
Yeah. And also minimization. Another reason that King was held up is because his image could be whitewashed to the point that it became useful, like the Million Man March. That was remarkable. I cannot emphasize how difficult it was to get 1 million people to Washington, D.C. in that time. Like, it's hard now because people can't leave their jobs. They can't afford the travel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But because of King's precedent, it's being presented in the media that if you can't get a full 1 million people, your protest doesn't count. You know, it's a tiny protest. No need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Unless it's January 6th, of course.
Right.
And then it was a protest, not a riot.
Oh, yeah, that definitely was not a riot.
Peaceful demonstration.
Yeah. Peaceful demonstration, yeah.
Law-abiding
it was
citizens.
like a lot of people.
They were just using their
pictures and video. They were just using.
Hell yeah.
So they had the videos and stuff on different social media of paying video.
What we have today are pretenders who have turned the civil rights movement into an industry.
I figured there was a lag.
Yeah, there's a lag.
Yeah, because I'm like saying something and then the stuff played. I don't know what's going on. So they had the Facebook and stuff, and they were talking about the protest that's going on about the ICE. And people was in the comments saying, "Oh, it's only 100 people there. That don't even count." I was to say it does, because they were doing it all around the country.
Right. What does the number have anything to do with it? A lot of them have broken out just instantaneously. Like I know one of them, it was because the people showed up at somebody's door and the neighbors saw what was happening, that they were trying to drag people out of their homes,
Yeah.
and so the neighborhood came around. That
Yeah.
wasn't planned, and there might have only been
Exactly.
20, 50 people there, but these were people who weren't prepared to come outside and protest. They're coming out
Yeah.
because they're like, "Oh my God, this is my neighbor. This is like the person who babysits my kid. This is the one who like drives my grandma to the store when she has time." So like
Yeah.
it's really sad that they're destroying communities, and they don't even care that they're upsetting communities. Like that's
No, they
actually
do care.
delightful to
That's the
them.
goal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
right.
best
You're
thing about it.
yeah,
Exactly.
I do that all the time, but you're exactly right. This is deliberately and intentional. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I love having the chat on screen, but it makes it hard to see everybody
Oh
who's
yeah, I
on the
didn't even think
side.
about it. Yeah, take it down. Sorry.
All right. There's another point, is the framing in the corporate and now state-controlled media about which protests get attention. For example, this is in the UK, but there's a similar political trend going on there as to what's going on here, which is there was a huge protest for trans rights last summer, possibly the summer before. Time is mushy in my head these days. But they had over 100,000 people. It was by far the biggest protest in that part of London ever.
Wow.
And the BBC, the entire British broadcasting company, didn't even note that it was happening. It happened right outside their headquarters, and they pretended it wasn't happening. What they
Wow.
did do was note the counter protesters. They didn't say what they were counter protesting. All three of them, 3 people, they made a big deal out of the fact that they were out there out supporting sex-based rights, or whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Wow.
So what gets framed, what gets highlighted, is also chosen.
Mm-hmm. It's all narrated for us.
So he's talking about how, since there isn't a legitimate Dr. King, then the people who are pretending there's racism today are making an industry out of it, a grift, which is ironic coming from a dude who works for a conservative think tank. He gets paid to figure out ways to lie to people.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Speaking of
out of racket.
What have I done?
Speaking of protesting and stuff, I know that this is happening in Dallas because, of course, I get the local news. But there is a Stop ICE terror protest that's going on all over North Texas, and I assume that because it's the 1-year anniversary of Trump coming into office, that there's going to be multiple of those around the country. So if you have the day off tomorrow, try to go.
Cool.
The more people that show up to these, the better.
And that reminds me, tangent, yes, but tomorrow, 2 p.m., whatever your local time is, there is a coordinated scheduled walkout event. If you can, if you can safely, if all the ifs, it's optional. But the more people do it, the more effective it will be. And it's planned. I don't know why they went with 2 p.m. local time, because the inauguration ceremony was noon Eastern. I'd try to center it around that myself, but I didn't plan this one. This was just brought to, in fact, I think it was Ryan that told me about this like a week ago or something. But there is a thing. It's I'll drop the link for this in the chats that I can reach, but it's freeameri.ca, because of course we can't put it on an American website where our federal government can get to it. It has to be on a Canadian server.
Hooray for Canada.
It's fucking unreal how people are like, oh, it's not that bad. It is that bad. It is. The level of state media control, the censorship in the US, like, we're not just erasing government websites that happen to mention Black people or happen to mention trans people existing. We're deleting websites, public commercial websites. We're blocking news broadcasts. Like, I need you people to understand, both within the US and internationally. It's a slow boil thing, like that parable about the frog in the pot of water. But the water is at boiling. We are in a state media censorship situation. Anything you see on mainstream media is approved by government censors.
Yep. Yep. Quite scary. Quite scary. And a lot of people that what's actually even more frightening is that people don't realize that.
Very much
I mean, we expect it from CBS because we're aware of the takeover by Barry Weiss. So we know they're just full on Republican, full on bootlicking, full on state media. We're aware of, I mean, Fox News has always been pro-billionaire. That's why it exists. But other networks like ABC, for example, I realize not many people watch legacy media in the first place, but if you watch an ABC News broadcast that has anything to do with anything that's a political hot topic, you'll notice they choose their words very carefully, and they will utilize phrases that are very cumbersome. There's a reason for that. It's because there are state censors watching the broadcast, and they will be penalized if they use the wrong construction of a sentence.
Everything's under a lot of scrutiny right now.
And what have these racketeers accomplished? A lot for themselves and very little for their constituents. Racial gaps in income, education, and home.
Wait. He just said there is no more legitimate racism. And then he turns around and says that these wannabe civil rights leaders aren't achieving gains in actualizing equal rights. Like, first there's no discrimination, but then the modern civil rights leaders aren't successfully overcoming discrimination. Which is it, buddy?
Right. The double talk.
Yeah. Please explain.
Like, we interjected quite a bit. We're not even 90 seconds into this video. He has talked out of both sides of his mouth in less than 1 minute.
Ownership were narrowing in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. But after King was replaced.
Also, the framing, again, notice the white line is dropping as the orange line, I guess representing Black people, since they started from the bottom, is coming up. It's mirroring. It's presenting the visual image that every gain by Black people represents a loss by white people. And that's not how anything works.
So sneaky.
I don't understand.
Would you say, Jess? Sorry.
I do not claim this Black
man.
man.
Saying that the white people have lost in giving anybody else rights. What do the white people lose?
Absolutely nothing.
In this graph specifically. Like, what are they giving up?
They won't even show it.
Trump is saying.
Yeah, basically.
He is saying that we're losing. Civil rights should be taken away because it's taking white people's rights away.
Yeah, because
because white people are losing their rights to be openly racist.
It's always been a conservative play to present any kind of expansion of rights as a zero-sum situation. Like, we can't give women's rights because it will undermine men's ability to do what men are supposed to do, which is rule the household and declare who runs everything, you know?
Placed as the spokesman for Black America by the likes of Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and others. These gaps began to...
Now, the reason for these two figures may be less about the rhetoric they represent and more the age of the intended audience. Remember, PragerU's audience is mostly 55 plus. These are Black people who talk loudly they're familiar with, as opposed to people who are active today that they'll be less familiar with.
I mean, Al Sharpton's one of the hosts on MSNBC now. So
I mean, these are the only two Black men, really?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, but this is their choice. Like, give me it's just so frustrating because that's what they're doing. They're using a very narrow lens and picking and choosing who they're going to like showcase as to, again,
what
why
they're
we don't need.
deliberately trying to not showcase is Barack Obama.
They're not going to show. I guarantee they're only going to. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what they say.
Yeah, because like, I mean, look at the style of the image. It's done in the PragerU color scheme, but the style is the same as Barack's Hope poster.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it does have that aesthetic.
Biden in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. This suggests that the racial disparities that continue today aren't driven by whatever racism that still exists, despite.
No, the racial differences they're getting worse, but it's not racism. I'm really curious to see what he's going to propose it is, actually.
All the claims to the contrary from progressives and their allies in the media. It also suggests that Black culture, attitudes toward marriage, education, work, and the rule of law plays a much larger role than the left wants to acknowledge.
Oh my goodness gracious. I love how they just put it all on the Black community. Bravo. That was really good. You did
because
good.
all aren't conservative enough, don't you know?
I'm like, really?
These people are lucky. Maya did a show last night and is probably still sleepy, or maybe it worked but whatever. They are lucky that Maya's not here. Now, this is one of the reasons that we all start with a foundation of counter-apologetics, because the skills you learn in counter-apologetics apply to all of this bullshit too. What are they doing? Why are they doing it? What are they trying to frame? Ask the questions, find out the answers, be critical of everything at every level, because it's all bullshit. This isn't just blaming Black culture for the state of Black society, as if that made sense. But specifically, it's looking at education. Oh, Black people aren't graduating college at a high enough rate. That's their own fault. They should work harder. It's Black people aren't getting married. This is the welfare queens and the baby daddies are in prison. Never mind that they're in prison because of the way the law is unfairly enforced. It's just all the things. All of it is a big network together. All of these issues, from employment to marriage to all of it, is a direct response to what is being done to them intentionally by conservatives. But they're going to blame the people they have targeted, they have hurt. This is like, to put it in a more today perspective, a more immediate perspective, this is Israel blaming Palestine for Israel blowing up Palestine.
Yeah.
Exactly. It really is. They don't want to address the disparities, what they've done to people to get them in this predicament. They don't want to address that at all, because then that would point the finger back to them, and they want to escape blame. They just want to be whole victims. That's it.
But now you understand why they needed to have a Black speaker on this video.
Agreed.
I'm gonna show
More
you
marches
guys
won't
in
address
our private
fatherless
chat.
homes.
Fatherless homes.
You're gonna put something in the private chat, you said?
I have a Facebook. We have to work with our job, and some of the things that he's saying, I'm really like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? And it sounds like this guy right here. He's younger, well, a little younger than me, like in his 40s or something like that. And some of the stuff that he says, I'm like, I don't understand. But I just got to show you guys what he's saying. And I'm going to unfriend him because I don't see the reason of some of the stuff he's saying. But it sounds like this man right here.
Ugh. Shudder.
It's fucking wild. Oh. Huzzah.
More sit-ins won't lower Black crime rates.
Won't they, though? I mean, first of all, the phrasing, Black crime rates. Black crime rates.
Yeah, he just basically went on to say that it's the values of the Black community, basically, and the crime rate. So basically, they're committing a lot of crime, and that's the problem.
Only
Why,
us,
like, they're
though.
not getting through school and graduating and getting better jobs or what have you.
Nobody else did crime. Only the black people do crime.
Oh my God.
That's right. So obviously, first of all, this is fractally bullshit, because it's like saying more doctors won't help the literacy crisis in elementary schools. Well, no, because that isn't the thing for that problem. That's
Right.
a solution to a
Yeah.
different problem. What are we doing here? But the second thing is, we don't measure crime rate based on race, right? We measure crime rate based on locality. We can measure prison population based on race as part of a prison census, which is how we know that despite making up something like 12% of the population, Black people make up upwards of 1/3 of the prison population. I haven't checked the statistics in a while, but holy shit, it's been up
Still
there.
slavery, by
So
the way.
What'd you say, Jeff?
They say
It's still
if you black,
slavery.
you're a criminal.
It's still slavery. The whole prison system and putting
It
black folks in
is.
prison for things like minuscule weed crimes because it's not federally legal, and trying
Thank
to
you.
round up all the black people. And
Thank you.
yeah, sorry, rant.
No, you're fine, but yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
it's
crimes are
yeah.
proximity
part of it,
crimes.
mandatory prison.
Basically, what Ember said. They're proximity crimes. You're more than likely going to commit crimes about, your reach and your grasp. Just like when it comes to assault with children, it's usually somebody in their family, in their vicinity. That's just how crime works. And people who don't get that are stupid AF. Yeah, are people targeted outside of, yeah, duh, shut the fuck up. But generally speaking, that's just how crime is. Like, you're dumb if you don't know that. You're just so dumb.
Well, there's a whole bunch of factors that go into this. One is that most of these crimes are either marijuana possession and, statutory minimums,
Infractions
but
of
like
dumb
crimes like B&Es or petty larceny, whatever the case, all this sorts of stuff, it's more often than not crimes of desperation. It's you can't get a job because you're black, or because you're a felon, or because you're black and a felon. And so you have no alternative but to steal shit in order to try to get food.
Yeah.
Poverty
And
and proximity.
and there was even that study that was done like several years ago. I would say it's probably a decade old, but it still stands, that they would do a resume exactly the same, with exactly the same credentials and everything, but one had a more quote unquote black sounding name and one had a typical white sounding name, and like the difference rates between callbacks and getting hired was just like absolutely insane on it. It was ridiculous. I can't remember what the figures were, but it was just like, yeah.
Well, it's been studied more than once. 2020 tried it in the 80s, maybe the 90s. NPR did repeated the study in the early 2000s. Human Rights Campaign repeated the study somewhere around 2012.
That might be the one I'm thinking of, though.
They did it with homes, like buying homes, selling homes, buying cars, selling cars, you effing name it. They've done, just basic little, I can't say it's been, like a scientific study, but they've tested the waters to see how people behave. And it's always different when it comes to people of color, a different sounding name, different community, or what have you. It's the same damn thing across the board.
And as Ryan pointed out, like, communities are over policed. It's not just police presence, however, it's also the criminal justice system. A black person accused of a crime will almost always get convicted.
And serve a terrible sentence compared to a counterpart, a white counterpart, or a male counterpart, white male counterpart.
Yeah, all the things. It just when the system is weighted against you every single step of the way, a larger proportion of people like you are going to end up in prison. Because that's the point of weighting it that way every single step of the way. It's an
They want to break up
intentional
families.
pipeline.
Yeah. It's the school to prison pipeline is a thing. The new Jim Crow is a really good book to read about that. But like it's intentional to break up generations upon generations of families and to make it certain that they won't be able to own land. You know, it's such a blessing to have a family member that you can always fall back on, like your grandma or your mom if they own a home. Like if something ever happens to you, just to know you have that safety net. So many people do not have those kind of safety nets because for generations they've not been allowed to have such things. And we take it for granted. We really, really do. We might think like, oh, well, I was poor. I struggled on. Yeah, you might have, but you probably still could find a meal if you needed to. You know, you probably knew somebody who could help you out in a pinch. Not everybody is so lucky.
Someone explained to me once that it's kind of like white people have been playing Monopoly and we've had 400
Exactly.
turns to build all the houses, get boardwalk, get the
Exactly.
railroads and everything like that. And now that we've had our 400 turns, we're totally equal, guys. We're totally equal. It's your turn now. Look, we're giving you a turn.
Yeah. Now you get to roll the dice. Go ahead. I hope you don't land on the wrong thing. And when you land on the police, you're probably gonna be in there for a while. You don't get a get out of jail free card like some people do. And when you go past go, you're probably not going to get the same paycheck. Actually, you're going to get like a quarter of that paycheck. So good luck with that.
It's really gonna tax you too out of that.
Honestly, like Monopoly is like that's what I use when I think about it in my head. I think it's the perfect.
Yeah, when I look at
analogy.
life, I always end up in a shady acres. I never end up a billionaire when I play life.
Damn it. I can't afford boardwalk.
Sweet. Shady acres. I don't even know, but yeah, that's so true though.
Yeah.
Or somebody use like a race analogy, like make the black people got to start at the starting line, but then you can start like halfway mark.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, the race is not fair.
It's so. Oh my goodness. All the parallels are useful in various ways. They used to, when they first started the racial integration in sports situations, track and field, for example, was one that was a little bit weird. They had two starting guns. The first was for the white people, and the second was for the black people, because the white people needed a 10-second head start to be competitive with the black people.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You're making me mad. Stop it.
You should be mad.
Yeah.
We should.
See, that to me, like, I just like this whole thing when it comes to like the argument against transgender people competing. It just makes, because I feel like it's taking the whole sport out of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? People want to compete, let them compete, let the fun of competing be that. Like, why do you need a head start? What is wrong with people? I just don't get it. I really don't.
They do the same thing.
Take the fun out of everything.
This is going to hurt a lot of people's brains, but it's they point fingers at trans athletes, but it's just sexism. There's a race, I believe, in Belgium. I may be mistaken on that. The link to it is on my website if you want to go look, betterthanumber.com. But the important part is there's a bicycle race, and the men start 15 minutes before the women because the men need to never be overtaken by the women. That's the point, is to make sure the men finish first so they get a 15-minute head start. And a couple of years ago,
men always want to finish first.
Taught the men. She started to overtake some of the men at the back of the pack. And so the race officials stopped the race and let the men get another head start again.
I feel like I remember this.
Yeah.
I feel like I vaguely remember. See, It is. You're right. It really just. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I always take it back to one of my favorite stories in the Bible. But like the Sodom and Gomorrah story, that is all about hatred of women. Because it's all about who's being, the submissive one,
Yeah.
and a man being
Yeah, it
submissive is
was
just
like,
no.
don't mess
Because
around
the
with
woman should be the
y'all.
one oppressed and submissive.
Yeah.
It's about the hatred of women.
Yeah.
You can take my camera man, do whatever you want to do with her.
Here it is. Women's sports exist to preserve men's supremacy illusion. So here's the example. Yes, Belgium. Hey, my memory's working this morning. It was 2019. It was a few years ago. I should probably make a duplicate of this page because it's CBS News and it's only a matter of time till they start sterilizing their archives. Maybe they already have. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
suffice it to say, as she approached the male riders, the race's official Twitter account called for the neutralization of the women's race due to the very slow men's race. So they stopped the race because it's so much more important that they be able to always say the men always finish before the women. Can't even have, even with the different start times, we cannot have a woman finish before a man. We cannot allow the illusion that the weakest man is still better, stronger, faster than the strongest woman. It cannot ever be allowed to be seen.
That's just so pathetic.
I remember I went on
I'm embarrassed.
a date. We went bowling. And so in the bowling, I was winning. I don't bowl anymore. And so I could see how the guy was like, agitated. But when I started losing, it was cool then.
Of course it was.
And I was like, oh yeah. He was like, oh, he was so happy.
I don't like that. That bothers me.
I knew I could beat you. I was like, you don't know, I was purposely getting gutter balls.
Wow.
How do you think all of a sudden I went from getting all these strikes and then all of a sudden I got gutter balls? There's a reason why I did that?
I'd be embarrassed.
I digress.
Anyway, right?
But it's so funny when it comes, like, a lot of times to the trans issues, it seems like they only try to pick on trans women. They do pick on trans men somewhat, but it's more picked on the women part. And that's what angers me. It's like, you don't do all this stuff for the trans men. Go in the bathrooms and see what parts they have and stuff like that. It's only when it comes to the women's sports of it.
Well, there's a few different reasons.
That's what angers me so much. And it shows you how much they really don't like women, period.
But they can't look at the trans men because the fact the trans men are men who are able to compete with and even beat the cis men blows apart the lie that there is this insurmountable biological advantage. It just completely disintegrates it. The only way they can try to pretend there's some kind of advantage, which, again, the only reason is for sexism. It's for misogyny. It's to try to keep the women under control and in their place. We need protection from the big, strong men because we can't even beat them in a bicycle race.
Oh, no.
You know what's
There's a
funny?
reason why it's institutional, but it still looks like we can't even beat them in a bicycle race.
You know how, like, well, at least I think anyway, back in the day when the divine kind of reflect mankind, there was women, or I should say goddesses and male goddesses and yada, yada, yada. Similarly, like now today, our culture is so focused on sports. Like that's like the biggest thing in this country for a lot of dudes anyway. But I think for generally a lot of people, they enjoy their sports. But sports doesn't really reflect, at least the sports that are spotlighted and highlighted don't really reflect our society either. Like there's tons of female sports that don't really get love like they should. And they're like crazy athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the like volleyball players and they're freaking crazy. Bodies are like, God damn. And they just don't get the they don't get the love. It's like it's not reflective. Just like
No,
the
because
divine is
that's
not reflective
cultural.
of
The
us either.
spot it's exactly the same as what we're talking about here. The spotlight has to be on white achievement and how wonderful white society is and how black people are a drain on society for the same reason. All good things come from men, and women, they exist, but they're not that great because the sports isn't really what they're supposed to be doing. They should be in the kitchen making sandwiches. Like we're going to allow them to play because we're a magnanimous society, but this isn't really what they should be doing. But if you look at it, if you put them head to head, every year I think the Harlem Globetrotters put on a performance against the Generals, and the Globetrotters, they aren't a pro basketball team or whatever, but they practice all the time, and they can do all kinds of tricks. They run circles around the Generals, literally, because they practice as a team, whereas men's basketball is all about the superstar and who can get the most dunks and shit. And it's a similar distinction between men's and women's basketball. Women's basketball teams are very oriented around the team. There might be one player who's better at shooting than others, and the team will try to leverage that. But the majority of the strategy are about teamwork, collectively outmaneuvering the other team. Men's basketball is give me the ball, I'm gonna shoot, all that kind of shit. And you can really, really see the difference. While an individual male athlete might be able to outscore a given female athlete, team versus team, women's basketball will blow the fucking shit out of, I should rephrase that, will beat the ever-loving shit out of most men's teams. Like if you take LeBron, for example, whatever the fuck team he's on now, bench his team and have LeBron go against a woman player, he'll probably win. But if you have his whole team against her whole team, he'll probably lose, because it's a difference in the way the groups play. Women's basketball is much more about the sport rather than the fame and celebrity of any specific player. Although there are a few specific players that are definitely worth watching.
I'm being petty. That's why I like how, can't think of her name. My mind is blank, but Karl Malone's daughter has won several championship rings, and he didn't win one, and that's when he disowned her.
Oh,
and she came in. Karl Malone, that's another subject in itself, to find out what kind of person he really was. He was a pedophile creep, but his daughter has won several championship rings.
And all this stuff, it seems like we're tangenting way the hell off the topic.
I know.
Yeah,
but all this stuff is related because it's all the same oppression for the same reason.
Yeah. Yep. Very much so.
I'm getting tired looking at this man on the screen, though.
Same.
Yeah. All right, let's take one more break. While we still have time to take breaks, and then I don't know. Do you guys want to try to finish this video? We're not quite halfway through.
Let's try to power
through. It ain't that long.
It's infuriating, but I am enjoying tearing it apart.
Yes.
Okay. So
Same.
Another short break. This one is do we want You know what? We're probably only going to get one more break in today. So let's do the Jugs break, because I think the audience is going to love that one.
Yeah.
All right. 2.5 minutes.
I did.
You're watching Java and Jugs. Yes, the Java is coffee. Yes, the Jugs are, well, you're adults, you've noticed. We're stepping away for a quick bio break. That's right, hydration checks, caffeine refills, and the collective experience of trying to stand up gracefully when gravity has opinions. While we're gone, take a moment to appreciate the important things in life. Critical thinking, religious skepticism, and the miracle of supportive undergarments. When we're back, we'll be questioning gods, institutions, and anyone who thinks women can't talk politics without being distracting. Java and Jugs. Brains up here, boobs also here, evidence everywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ooh, that was
And we're
good,
back.
Jess.
Thank you. Jug
I
filled
love that.
Yeah, I know you just
Love those
Everybody loves
jugs.
boobies. Everybody loves boobies.
Boobies.
Hell yeah.
everybody just talking about
Jess,
boobies.
that was fantastic. I had a feeling people would like that. Now, Jess also made a third break. There's a Java break, a Jug break, and a supported by break. But since it's probably the last break of this show, I thought y'all might appreciate checking that one out. So make sure to tune in next week to observe the Java break and also the Jugs break again.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
We can also
It's
put
brilliant.
like
People
yours
chanting in
there,
chat,
you
going
know,
jugs,
if
jugs,
you die, you
jugs,
die.
jugs.
If you die, you die is a good one.
All right, let's try to wrap up this fella here before I gotta scoot, because as all the world knows, immediately following this show,
I will be
we're
there.
doing Learn Together Live over at my place. I've got Deviant Outcast joining today to tell us about ancient Egyptian technology and the through line of how humans became humans today with our tools and whatnot. And it should be really neat. So I hope you join us. That's at my place at Better Than Ember at the top of the hour. So we only have a little over 20 minutes.
We got to power through, you guys.
Yeah. So let's try to nail this. Oh, Jesus. I am bad with wording today. At least I'm not trying to blow him. Holy crap.
Narrow the school achievement gap. Electing more Black politicians and appointing more Black government officials can't compensate for these cultural deficiencies either.
Again, hiring more doctors won't fix the reading crisis. Electing more Black politicians, more representation, it won't change Black culture, but that's not what that's for. It will show that Black people have an opportunity. It will allow Black voices to be heard. It will help shape policy in a way that will stop deliberately fucking over Black communities, hopefully, which will change the cultural aspects that our friend here is not happy about.
Black mayors, congressmen, senators, police chiefs, and school superintendents have become commonplace since the 1970s. Even the election of a Black president, twice, failed to close the racial divide in many key measures.
So that there's no more racism, but also representation won't completely erase the racism. There's no more racism because Obama got elected, but also the fact Obama got elected didn't completely eliminate racism, and therefore it's ineffective and pointless. If it didn't wipe away 100% of the problem, it was ineffective and pointless.
That's how we judge things.
It might be a little
It's
dumb,
literally a
but
black
how
and
are you
white
gonna
fallacy.
erase
And
somebody's
he's doing it on
mindset?
purpose.
Only through education, Kelly. If at all.
People's
White
racism is
difference.
through their own mindset. We can't change somebody's mind if they don't like somebody because of their color of their skin or some other reason. That's their own ideology.
Yeah. It's Obama's fault we still have racists. Weirdly, there are people who say that. There's
Damn you,
people like
Barack.
the whole Proud Boys thing, the tiki torches in Virginia, all of that shit. Trump and his cronies are like, oh well, this is Obama's fault. He brought them all out. He made there be a white pride movement.
I have literally
Really?
heard that from people here. Yeah, I have literally heard that out of the mouths of people here. And I'm just like, are you out of your fucking mind, people?
Yeah, it was one video where a man was talking about black people are mad. We're not, well, a black person, I'm saying we're not mad that they wanted to do their white-owned society in Arkansas. And then he was like, black people, why don't y'all just do it? And I was like, and so Monty Mayer, that is my Shira. I love her. I can't
I love her too.
And she broke it down like all these civilizations and societies that black people came, you guys tore up because you were jealous they were succeeding better than yours.
Yep. They were jealous they weren't getting the money anymore from black people. They created their own businesses, their own communities, and they got angry and then burnt them down or put them underwater or built on top of them.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what we do. It's never going to be good enough, ever.
Yep.
And poverty, home ownership, and incomes all grew wider under President Obama. Discussion.
I'm not sure that's true. Like, he's just throwing out claims here. He's not demonstrating anything to back them up. I'm not sure that's true. But also, if that is true, I'm not sure that makes the point he thinks it's making. We don't have time to break down all the things. I just want to point out that he's not showing that's true. And even if it were, it isn't necessarily supporting the point he thinks. Because, like, for example, what the fuck is the president supposed to do about home ownership percentages? You know, it's like saying gas prices are Biden's fault. What the fuck do you mean?
Under President Obama. Discussion of antisocial behavior in poor black communities, let alone the possibility that it plays a significant role in racial inequality, has become another casualty of the post-60s era. King and other black
casualty to talk about a social position as a casualty in a video about a man who was assassinated is wild.
Right, but you won't say assassination.
It's not King, it's conservative policy that's the real victim here.
Black leaders at the time spoke openly about the need for more responsible behavior. After remarking on the disproportionately high inner-city crime rates, King told a black congregation in St. Louis that we've got to do something about our moral standards. We know that there are many things wrong in the white world, he said, but there are many things wrong in the black world too. We can't keep on blaming the white man. There are things we must do for ourselves. The pretenders to King's legacy mostly ignore this advice.
Want to bet a nickel that's cherry-picked?
Yeah, I bet the quote is cherry-picked. I mean, I don't doubt that he said that there's things that you have to own as a human. We all have to own our own, actions. We're responsible for our own actions. But that's not what he's talking about.
This is another thing you learn from counter-apologetics.
That part I do agree to a certain extent. Like,
oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, here's the Google search results. For MLK, we can't keep blaming the white man. Manhattan Institute, Wall Street Journal, American Enterprise Institute. I don't know who Blaska Policy Works is, but whatever. And then court, like there are nothing that isn't hyper conservative and billionaire owned. Like
using that
think
quote.
tank, Rupert Murdoch property and conservative think tank. And then whoever this Blaska policy thing is, like,
shouldn't that say something?
What are we doing?
Shouldn't that say something right there?
Reddit. Okay, Stanford. Maybe we can find something in Stanford. Let's find out. The Chicago campaign. Let's do a search. White man. Nope, not that one. And that's the only reference in here. The quote is, we also come here today to affirm that we will no longer sit idly by in agonizing deprivation and wait on others to provide our freedom. We will be sadly mistaken if we think freedom is some lavish dish that the federal government and the white man will pass out on a silver platter while Negro merely furnishes the appetite. Freedom is never voluntarily granted by the oppressor. Let's freedom is never voluntarily granted by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed.
It's not given. It's taken.
So that's what King had to say about the white man, at least in this speech, this Chicago speech. Again, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but there doesn't seem to be any source for it other than the think tank this dude works for and other people reporting on that think tank, with the possible exception of this other think tank. So what the fuck? What the absolute fuck? Oh, holy shit. Holy shit. Hold on. What's this now? Where is it? I'm gonna find it. Okay, white man. Down. Nope. Down here. King's successors mostly ignore this advice, preferring it's. Is this man on the PragerU video? Is he just reading out this article from his own thing? Did they just make a video version of this article?
I don't know.
Probably.
Like word for word what he just said. Holy shit.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Congregation in St. Louis. Quote, we've got to do something about our own moral standards. I'll try to do a search for that one. I realize this detour is going to almost definitely put us over our thing, but I really want to try to get to the bottom of this. Okay. Skeptics Stack Exchange. Oh, let's have a look here. That's my alarm that I have to go set up the other show. The quote is paraphrased. It is not a quote, and it's mixing up Dr. King's statements about New York and St. Louis. Here's the real quote, starting with the second sentence of this section we extracted from Dr. King's speech given 57 years ago on 5 December 1957. Some Things We Must Do, delivered at the Second Annual Institute on Nonviolence in Montgomery, Alabama. Quote, I'll make this bigger so y'all can see. Quote, let us be honest with ourselves and say that our standards have lagged behind at many points. Negroes constitute 10% of the population of New York City, and yet they commit 35% of the crime. St. Louis, Missouri, Negroes constitute 26% of the population, and yet 76% of the persons on the list for aid to dependent children are Negroes. We have 8 times more illegitimacy than white persons. We've got to face all these things. We must work to improve these standards. We must sit down quietly by the wayside and ask ourselves, where can we improve? What are the things that white people are saying about us? They say that we want integration because we want to marry white people. That's where it always goes, isn't it? You know, oh, gay people get married, you're going to marry your dog.
They're taking our jobs and they're taking our women.
That's it. Holy shit. We know that's a falsehood. We know that. We don't have to worry about that. Then on the other hand, they say some other things about us, and maybe there is some truth in them. Maybe we could be more sanitary. Maybe we could be a little more clean. You may not have enough money to take a weekend trip to Paris, France, and buy all the fascinating and enticing perfumes. You may not be able to do that, but you are not so poor you cannot buy a 5-cent bar of soap so that you can wash before word inaudible. It's a transcript from an audio recording, apparently. Another thing, my friends, we kill each other too much. We cut up each other too much. There's something we can do. We've got to go down in this quiet hour and think about this thing. We've got to lift our moral standards at every hand, at every point. You may not have a PhD degree. You may not have an MA degree. You may not have an AB degree. But the great thing about life is that any man can be good and honest and ethical and moral and can have character. We must walk the street every day and let people know that as we walk the street, we aren't thinking about sex every time we turn around. It's another one we hear all the time today. We are not animals to be degraded at every moment. We know that we are made for the stars, created for eternity, born for the everlasting, and we stand by it. We must improve our standards, improve our conduct. We must improve our sanitary conditions, and we must improve our cultural standards. There are many things we can do. Opportunities are now open that were not open in the past. Adult education and all of these things we must take advantage of. There are things we can do to make ourselves respected by others. Let me rush on. There's a third thing we must do that we can do. We must achieve excellency in our various fields of activity and our various fields of endeavor. This is a new day, and that simply means that doors are opening now that were not open in the past. Opportunities stand before us now that did not stand before us in the past. And the great challenge before the Negro at this hour is to be ready to enter these doors as they open. Ralph Waldo Emerson said in an essay back in 1871 that if a man can write a better book or preach a better sermon or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, if he builds his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. We must get ready and do the job. The opportunities will stand there for us. That is what he actually said.
So he basically just made it up.
Well, it seems like he pieced together parts from two different sermons. And a big part of that, it's important to remember, he was a minister first, and he's preaching to a Black congregation. He's saying, Black brothers and sisters, here's things we can do to make our lives better without relying on the white man. Mm-hmm. That's not to say all the problems facing Black people are Black people's fault. Those two things are not even in the same zip code. No, holy shit.
He's saying take responsibility for what you can take responsibility for. Isn't that what we all should do? Like, god damn.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm glad we weirdly wound our way around to some words from Dr. King, words that I had never heard before.
Really good words. I'm pretty pissed off that that dude chopped it up like that. And again, like we said before, a lie will, a lie will spread faster than the truth.
A lie will make it around the world before the truth gets its boots on.
That's the one. Yes. So he's already got that article out there. So now if you search it, something comes up. Oh, it's probably true. Something came up. I got a hit. He must have said that.
Shit's unbelievable. So before I go, quick highlights, notes. The government has always been oppressive. It's just changing different forms to whatever socially acceptable, whatever will get minimal consequences. So all the whatevers. But it's always been that way. From the days of slavery to the operations against Dr. King to the modern state censorship of information. and spying on everyone. You know, it's always been this way. It just keeps mutating forms. Protesting. Keep going. Keep being loud. Keep being visible. They cannot ignore you if you refuse to go away. That's one of King's biggest lessons. But also take care of yourself, like he was just talking about in that sermon. Don't make it entirely about what you need the state to do, or the white population to do, or the cis population to do, or the religious population to do, or whatever the majority happens to be in your specific struggle. Fight them, stand against them, stand in their way, but be safe and put doing better yourself as a priority too. Look at what they're saying about you, what they used to tear you down, and try to do better about that so they lose that weapon of criticism.
Agree.
Hell yeah. All right. I've got to set up the next show, so I'm going to scoot. Join me Better Than Ember here on YouTube, and everybody else do your outros and things, and we'll see y'all soon. Mwah!
See you soon. Anybody have anything they'd like to discuss before we leave today?
I mean, we got to plug the three of, well, you're welcome to join Jess as always. But the Black Non-Believers live stream tonight, 7 p.m. on Black Non-Believers channel. Tune in or be square. We will be there. Seth Ambers Apostate will be there as well. Matt Dillahunty, Arden Hart. Goddess Engineer, Cynthia McDonald, Secular Rarity, Dr. Ben will all be in company of us. So if you want to be where all the cool people are, you're going to tune in tonight, 7 p.m. Then after, I'm going to have a little after party where we're going to just play games and laugh and talk for an hour or so on my channel.
Awesome.
So
it's going to be a fun time
with us. Yes.
Can I do some trivia tonight
on
your channel? Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to set something. I know Dr. Ben always uses
food.
What you call that? My mind is blank now. But there's certain apps they use. He uses. So I'm gonna figure that out. Oh, Jackbox. That's what it is. I don't know if it's anything other games is used.
I love Jackbox.
We figure it out. So if you guys know some games and stuff, you can play. We do Jackbox and other things. So thank you for tuning in on this episode, everybody.
Yes. You, Lilith, you got anything?
Yeah, actually, there's politicality on Thursdays that me and the Kentucky Atheist Joe, we are now doing politicality on Thursdays and talking all the political stuff. So it's
so make sure you're subscribed to
so
fantastic.
It's a great,
it's streamed both on Kentucky Atheist and my channel, which is Lil of All Trades. So.
And Jess, what about you? Anything, my dear?
I've been working on Extinct Explained over on my channel, where I put out approximately 5-minute videos just explaining something interesting that I like, and I felt like putting it out there. So if you want to watch it, you can. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine too. But it's pretty fun. Come join me. And sometimes with this lady up here, we do Reasonably Crafty. And we invite our friend Deviant Outcast, or anybody is welcome to come and craft with us, really, while we chit chat about secular stuff, and we have a good time with it. Everyone's welcome over at How to Rule an Asteroid.
Have a good old time crafting up, having a little chitty chat. I've caught you guys. It's fun to watch people do crafts because I'm a craft. Actually, as I say, and I'm sitting here cutting up letters.
You can join them.
I'm going to make an Abolish Ice shirt.
So join them.
I'm raveling yarn.
Yes, Stace, my hands are always busy, so I enjoy that kind of stuff. Yes, so please, if you're not subscribed, find these channels, subscribe. I put out a long form video a couple days ago, and I also one I think is coming out either tonight or tomorrow, another long form video. So you might want to check those out about Scientology, ICE, connections to Israel, Erica Kirk, TPUSA, lots of fun stuff. We should get out of here because Ember's going to be starting. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Hi,
Have a
everybody.
wonderful
Thanks
day.
for tuning in.
Don't forget to join
See you
tonight.
tonight.